Welcome back to Masterpiece Minute with Doc Brown on Virtual SDMA. I'm your host, Michael Brown, Curator of European Art at the San Diego Museum of Art. Drop in every Friday at 10 a.m. to pick up a new mini-talk led by SDMA curators and their guests, spotlighting works of art from the museum's collection. This week, we look at a masterpiece of 19th century Mexican painting, The Bountiful Still Life, by José Agustín Arrieta. Arrieta, who died in 1874, finished his training at the Royal Academy of San Carlos in Mexico City and spent the rest of his life in Puebla, a historic city teeming with masterpieces of Baroque painting and soaring viceregal architecture. Puebla was and is best known for brilliant pottery and a distinctive fine culinary tradition. While academically trained, Arrieta and his artistic production were anything but fusty. He made a name for himself with rip-roaring tavern scenes, highlighting the region's rich cultural diversity and local costume. He completely reinvented still life painting in Mexico, a genre which wasn't even taught at the Academy. His appreciation for the old masters, especially Velázquez and Murillo, comes through in these paintings. He even painted a copy of Velázquez's Los Borrachos, the Drinkers, into the background of one of his raucous tavern paintings, in which the patrons drink pulque, the potent native agave beverage. The way Arrieta signed most of his still life paintings, in the foreground, on the front edge of the tabletop, is a nod to Juan Sanchez Cotan, and like Sanchez Cotan and Velázquez, he tilts the perspective of the table toward the viewer, making all the objects more visible. With a stunning range of color and texture, from the mottled plumage of the Dominique chicken to the furled lettuce and ripe tomatoes, Arrieta brings Puebla's bounty to life. We find distinctly local things like avocados, panochera apples, and plantains, and the large green calabacita squash on the right. But we also find imported objects popular in Puebla, such as the antique crystal glassware from the Royal Glass Factory in La Granja, Spain. The inclusion of the blue and white Chinese porcelain cup on the left, which Arrieta has filled with olives and serrano peppers, which were native to Puebla, serves as a reminder that Mexico had been at the crossroads of European and American exchange with Asia through the Manila galleon trade since the late 1500s. For Arrieta, every object was chosen with careful intention, and even the vino tinto, red wine, in the cask and covered decanter, may contain a subtle reference to independence. Spain had banned winemaking in Mexico in 1699. It had flourished for the previous 2 centuries. And wine wasn't produced in quantity until after independence in 1823, when Arrieta was a young man. This has been Doc Brown with Masterpiece Minute. Thanks for joining us here on Virtual SDMA. Catch you next Friday.